Okay, let's make a start. Welcome everybody to 1 hour of miniature goodness. I can see my dad's in chat with a smile on my face. The Goblin Emperor's in chat. Can you just check that the sound's working for me, please? I hope everybody is well. Thank you for the well wishes for Scorpla. She's much better now after her second jab. She didn't have much luck with her jabs, that's for sure. Okay, so we've got our little Eye of the Beholders. Now, one of these tonight is for Tal, because he won one of the miniatures that I did for the draw before. I wanted to show you these miniatures because they are absolutely... I think they're one of the best and most popular miniatures from the Wizkids line. These are from about 2 to 3 years ago now, and they've also got a bit of a reputation because a couple of years ago they were selling on YouTube on eBay for like £100. It was absolutely ridiculous. They were like the Teletubbies back in the 90s, where everybody was trying to get them for the Christmas presents for their kids, and people were paying like £1,000 just for one of these Teletubbies. But yes, they are absolutely beautiful miniatures. So let me just show you. We got the two here. Now, the main things I wanted to show you first is the eyes. Now, what happens with these eyes of the Eye of the Beholders is you get a little cover for the eye. It's like a little misty plasticky eye piece there. Now, as you can see on this one, I've glued it on because you can't actually see anything through that. It's too misty. And you've also got the other eye, which I call the cheese cut eye, because it's got a little, like a chunk of cheese cut out of the eyeball. So what we're going to do today is we're going to paint the two eyes, and we're going to see which one will look best, whether the one with the eyes that's been shaped and cut, or by just painting over that plastic and adding our own eyeball to that. But also what we've got here is, with these beholders, you get 4 of these little eyeball sockets that come out, so you can just pull those out and you can put in little laser beams and magical effects to the Eye of the Beholder. I actually prefer it as it is, like this. But I'm going to show you today as well how to paint the plastic. Now, I showed you this before, but what I've done a before and after today. So I'm going to show you how to paint the plastic to have all the different colors, and I'm going to show you it when it's dry as well. Okay, I better say hello to everybody in chat, because there's me chatting away. I've probably missed half of you. I see Scorpla's there, got Michelle, hello Michelle, and Tal of course is in house, Rod's in house, we have my daddy is in house, the Goblin Emperor, we got Casper Kenobi, and BullGM, hello BullGM, looking forward to seeing your Twitch shows, and we got Muse's Touch, and she's going to be doing Twitch shows soon. Everybody's doing Twitch shows, everybody. Okay, I shall start painting this one up now. What we're going to do is get some paint on the palette. We are going for some nice blues. I'll probably just do this one in like a Xanathar paint scheme. So we're going to go for blue, and we got some silver grey. So we get the paint onto the warthog. Lots of lovely paint. So what we'll do is we'll quickly get the paint on the Xanathar, I think I'm saying that correctly, and we'll quickly whip around this one. So we're going for the lighter blue to begin with, and we're just going to go over the whole miniature really fast and easy. This with the Eye of the Beholders, like I say, all the Wizkids miniatures have already had a primer coat, so you don't need to add a primer coat to these miniatures. You can if you want. I certainly would recommend it if you want different colors and shades, but we're just going to go for our basic colors today. We just want to go for a quick fast paint. Hopefully I'll show you the eyes. Eyes are very simple to do on these miniatures. There's lots of little fiddly bits of paint. That's why I painted the red one up before the show, so we could move on to that one as well as. Where's that look? There we are. Put this little eye back in there. Yeah, so I got the two beholders, so hopefully we can work on one while the other one is drying, because you know what I'm like, I'll end up waiting for things to dry otherwise. We're only going to work our way down, and while that paint is wet, we'll start adding in the other colour. We'll wet blend the other colours to the bottom of the miniature. We'll just quickly go as fast as possible to get this initial coat on. It's like a little pineapple, but with all these little spiky little scales everywhere, it's very simple to do some dry brushing afterwards and pick out all the highlights, which I'll show you on the red beholder in a second. My dad's just saying about the cats there. My dad's cats are the ragdoll cats. You know those ragdolls? They're like the ultimate in floppy cats. They don't care about anything. They don't care about life or nothing. They just flop everywhere. Okay, so just flying on with the paint. I'm sorry if I'm going a bit slow, trying to get this on as fast as possible. I got lots to show you today, so I want to try and get as much done in the hour as we possibly can. Oh, there's the eyeballs falling out. You can tell that's Tal's. His eyeballs are falling out already. I'm having the red one. Okay, nearly there, nearly there. This is a beautiful blue, works very well. Again, this blue is the Ice Blue by MSP. Absolutely lovely. Lots of little nooks and crannies to get your paint into on this miniature, so it's taken longer than normal just to add a little primer there. We're nearly there though. There we are. Just going around the bottom there. Bottom there. Okay, nearly done. Good. That'll do for now. Just a few little bits here and there. Gotta make sure it's all painted, because I know Michelle will be freaking out if she sees I've missed a little bit. There we are. It's a little bit better. We might have missed a few little bits here and there, but you get the gist. It's looking awesome already. Just adding that blue makes it look great. Okay, give my brush a quick wash. We're going to move into that silver. Okay, what we're going to do is we are just going to apply this around the mouth area. That's way too much paint on my brush. Woohoo! There you go. And we're just working our way around. Thank you for following. So what we're just doing here is we're going for like a Xanathar color scheme. We're just blending in the blue, this here, going around the mouth. And just going underneath the mouth a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to let that dry now. Actually, I just need to go around the eyes here. Boom, boom, boom. Take some more paint off the brush. There we go. So going too fast and putting too much paint on my brush is not a good idea. What we're just going to do is add this to the eyelids of all the eyes. Very fast and simple. Like I say, I have missed a few bits of blue, so I will go back over those in a minute. I just want to quickly show you what I've been up to. The eyes. Here we are. Once that's dry, what we'll do is we shall paint all the pupils on all the eyes white. What we're trying to do is just add the certain colours to begin with, just to get our initial paint scheme going. It's simple enough. Okay, now he's too wet now, he's too moist, so we'll go back to him in a minute. Right, okay, this is nice and dry, so what we can do is I'm going to quickly go over this with a nice lighter red, and I'm also going to add some pink, so we're going to go with some nice fresh blood. Because I want to get all the dry brush in on this one first. This is more, to me, this is more like a Cacodemon from Doom, so we're going for that type of effect from this one. I want some pink as well, because I want to lighten up the edges of things. So a little bit of pink. And this is just all dry brushing, very simple to do. So we've got our tissue, and we'll go into that red, and we'll just go against all the bits there and just start bringing out the highlights around the whole miniature. Now, I've never encountered an Eye of the Beholder yet in any of our games, not that I can remember. Tal, have you? I can't remember if we've encountered one or not. All we're doing is adding lighter red on top, and I'm going to start adding a little bit of that pink into that red to make it even lighter, and we can start working our way around and bringing out some more highlights, and we can start bringing out all the lovely detail of the mini. So all we're using is red and pink, so it's not too pink, but it's given us a nice little effect to all the scales all over. And we'll do the same with the blue one. Once that's dry, we'll add a lighter blue, and that'll bring out all the scales. It's just a simple way of doing things. It's fast. It's really fast to get your miniatures painted. Yes, the red is my favourite, to be honest. It's definitely got a more darker, menacing demon look than the blue. I mean, we can all follow the colours from Dungeons and Dragons, but personally, you can do whatever you like with your miniatures. You don't have to follow any guidelines of what colour should be used. I mean, you could have this in a rainbow colour if you wanted. You could have it any colour you wanted. The hardest part about this miniature is it's got so many eyes, so there's a lot of little nooks and crannies to try and get your brush into, and that's why dry brushing this miniature is so easy, because it picks out the detail you want. Like I say, I'm going lighter now on the top of the eyes. You're just using that pink, and this will bring out a nice little, makes them all come alive more. Okay, so that'll do for there now. I think what we'll do is we'll just go over the top of the gums. This is just pure pink, and I've added a little bit of that silver grey. It's just there. That's how all I need to do for that one. Wash my brush. Exactly, Casper Kenobi, a pride beholder. You can do whatever you like. I was going to, I'm actually thinking of doing a rainbow dragon. So I was just seeing that what Carlos said. I'll probably do a rainbow dragon this month as well. So that'll kind of celebrate this month for all the people that celebrate this month for Pride. So that's definitely on the cards. Okay, what I'm going for now is some dragon white, and we'll start painting in this eye here. I mean, that would be cool, eh? That would be cool. A brush that paints rainbows. That would be very cool. Okay, just going for a smaller brush now, and we'll start painting in that main eye. I mean, you don't have to have this plastic piece on, that is for sure. But personally, I don't like the piece of plastic that comes with the miniature, but that's my own personal preference. Some of you might actually prefer it, but I prefer it painted like this, so I can actually add an eye myself. Boom. Okay. Now for the teeth, we'll go for some graveyard bone. Just quickly get these, oh, no hair there, off you go. Just get some paint on here. Right, what I'm going to do after these teeth is I'll show you how I paint those plastic magical items again. Okay, let's let these dry a little bit more. I will show you the, like I say, many of you have probably already seen this, what I'm going to show you now, but I'm going to show you again because it works really well. If the last time I showed you, the paint didn't dry, so it didn't have the full effect. So I'm going to show you once again. If you want to paint items like this magical effect for all your Wizkids miniatures or Reaper miniatures, it's a very simple process. All you need is some satin acrylic varnish, and all you do is you add that to a, let me see if I can get this a little better show. There we are. Just add a little bit of your satin varnish into your pot there. Then you use any ink wash. You can have blue ink wash, yellow ink wash. This contrast wash from Games Workshop is absolutely fantastic. It gives a really nice yellow. But I also use the Vallejo blues. That gives a very lovely clear blue. So all we do is we get one of our brushes and we just add a couple of drops of our yellow to the varnish. There we go, that's all we need. Right, I'm gonna use the bottom of my brush here, and all we do is we mix that in with the actual varnish. That goes all nice and yellow, so it's nice and yellow there. Now, because it's satin varnish, what happens is when it dries, because at the moment the satin varnish is all misty, but what will happen is when that dries, the varnish goes crystal clear. But what also it does, it makes it much easier to paint onto your plastic, because what you'll find is if you use wash straight from the bottle, it'll just pull totally and you won't get any, it won't work, it just looks awful. So all you do then is you paint over the plastic with your varnish and wash mix, just a good nice strong layer. Just like this, and that's all you do, and you just leave that dry. Now I'll show you the one I did earlier. So what happens is when it fully dries, this is what happens. So this works absolutely perfect, and this is exactly what I've done earlier. There's exactly the same amount of paint, yes, in true Blue Peter style, but it works, and it's a fantastic way to change all the colors on all your miniatures for your magical effects. And I've done the same with the blue. So this is the blue. All I did with the blue was I added some blue ink wash to the satin varnish, just a couple of drops, and as you can see, here we go, that's the blue, and this is another one of the flames. Now, if you, just to give you another example of the difference, that's the original, and this is what it looks like after you've done the varnish wash. It absolutely works a treat. So if you want to swap, if you want to change all the colors on your Reaper miniatures and your Wizkids, all the plastic see-through plastic, this is the perfect way to go to get a really beautiful effect. It just works really well. So I was thinking of having this one on Tal's miniature, so I'll send all these little magical effects with Tal's as well, so we can have them swapped out if he likes. But what we'll do is we'll carry on with Tal's miniature like it is, and then of course he can have these as well as to swap if he wants to. Personally, I don't bother with the magical effects. I prefer mine to just be as it is. Okay, let me take a little drink. I know Gareth's on holiday, but I want to thank Gareth for my mug. Gareth sent me the Goblin Gulp mug, which comes with all the coffee beans. So thank you so much to Gareth for sending me this. Absolutely fantastic. And the coffee beans blow your brains out, honest. Hamish would absolutely love it. Ah, Hamish is in chat. Yeah, I mentioned coffee and there's Hamish. Unbelievable. Okay, let's carry on now. These are dry. So what we're going to do now is we want those eyes to glowing. So what I'm going to be using again is this beautiful wash, but I want to add some more white. We need to get that 2 layers bright as possible, so it really works for what we want to do. So again, we're going back into that white, and we'll just add another layer, and that's all we need to do. Excuse my dog, she's barking. She's saying it must be time for walkies, and it's not time for walkies, not yet. And a little bit on these ones. For the bases of these miniatures, very simply, we can add some PVA glue to the base of the miniature and then add some sand around the base. We can paint that brown. We can add some grass flocking, and that'll look absolutely fab for the base. Very simple little base to do on this one. Okay. Sorry, reading reading all the chat there. Okay, let's see where we are. Let's see where we are. We want to get this eye done as well, so we're going to add some white to this eye, just because I wanted to show you the difference. I think the most important part is showing you the difference of these two eyes. So what we'll do is we'll get some white on these eyes here. And just show you how they both work. And I've done it again where I've gone too fast and the paint is not drying fast enough for me to carry on the way I want to. That's fine, that's fine. We'll work around it. It's actually quite warm in my workshop today, so the paint is drying a little bit faster than normal. What's that, Michael's lonely mug? What's that mean? Okay, we're going to use this beautiful contrast yellow by Games Workshop. Works because this is more like a fire demon, so this will be perfect for its eyes. Once this is dry, I can show you how we can finish off the eyes and make them look more realistic as well. Now this contrast yellow is amazing because it almost gives a shade as well. So all we're doing is going over all those areas. There we are. All the white areas now we'll start going over with the yellow. Okay, we want a little bit of brown ink wash now. I'm going to go for some soft tone ink wash by Army Painter. I'm going to get one of my little cotton buds, one of these here. So we've got a little bit of the soft tone ink wash. This will just be for the teeth So we can actually go over the whole of the mouth and the teeth, and this will go into the recesses and make all the gums look a lot nicer. And it's a light ink wash, so it's not it's good for teeth. You can have the teeth a little bit too dark when you use the darker browns, so using the light browns works very nice for the ink wash. We'll go all the way down to the bottom of the ink wash, along the bottom of the gum, and then while that's still wet, we can quickly start taking off the ink on the tips of all the teeth. This will give it a nice point. Okay, superb. Okay, so we're moving on to the eyes. Well, how are we doing for time? We're doing fine. Okay, so let's add some pupils to these yellow eyes. It's all drying very nice and fast tonight, so we're doing well. So I'm just using pure black. And again, we're going for a nice small brush. We're actually using, what size is this one? Using a size 0. Now for the eye, we're just going to go straight down like a little piece of rice. And what we're going to do is have it on a tiny bit of an angle, I think. So have it so it's looking in the corner. And we just move our way down. And we'll take it across. And we'll go down. There we go. What you'll find is if you have the pupil in the complete center of the eye, for some reason it just doesn't seem to work as well, but having an off-centered pupil, I don't know, it just kind of works a little bit better. Now we'll do the same with all the other ones. It's just a little line going across the eye. And we try to have them so they're all looking in the same direction. Good. Okay. Now we need to highlight around the eye and darken the eye off. So what we're going to do there is we're going to go back with our dark red. I did have it somewhere. There you go. We've got clotted red. And I'm going to add some black to that clotted red to make it very dark. And what we'll do is we'll go around the eye. So we've got clotted red, which is a very, very dark red. And we're just mixing in a tiny bit of black to make it even darker. And what we'll do is we'll go around the eye. And this will actually make the eye stand out even better. Actually, it still needs to be a bit darker than that. A bit more black added to the red. That's better. And we'll just quite gently go around the bottom of the eye, and we'll just work our way around outside, just a tiny little bit. There's a tiny bit, just give us a little bit of shadow around the eye. There you go. Perfect. That's all I want to do. And the same on these ones. We'll just go over the top of the eye, just a tiny little bit. It just gives like a hint of shade, but it makes the eye stand out a lot stronger. It's quite a delicate job, but it looks great once it's done. Quite difficult to get to the little eyeballs everywhere. Okay, last one. There you go. There's a little bit there. Oh, and you missed an eyeball. There we are. Looking fab. Right, so we'll let that dry and then we'll add the reflections to the eyes in a second now. I'm glad you like it. It's looking nice. Just a nice, quick, simple paint. Okay, let's do this one. What we need to do is add some black to the middle, of course. And what we're going to do is we'll just carry on using that nice black we just used a second ago. And we'll add that to the center. Now this is quite a weird sculpt for an eye. I don't know why they did this, having it kind of cut out. This is why I call it the cheese effect, because it reminds me of a piece of cheese that's been cut away from a block of cheese. See, I just laughed and blobbed the paint everywhere. That's fine. What we'll do is we'll go brown. We'll go brown. Xanathar brown. So just go in here. What we're going to do is we're pulling a little bit of that black into the brown. That'll give us a nice, like in a real eye, you get the little lines, iris, I think that's the word. Okay, so that's the part of the eye there. I find it very difficult to make the eye pop with on this actual part here. This is why I prefer filling it in like it is there. It just looks more real for me. Having it completely covered like so, it looks a lot nicer to me personally than having the eye like it is on the other one. But that is my own personal opinion. I know lots of people will absolutely love the eye the way it is. Okay, we're going to add some more of that white to the sides of the eye, just to make that a little bit more stronger white. And the same on the other side, just building up the white like so. Doesn't take long. Okay, what we'll do is we shall finish off the red beholder's eyes now. Now all we need to do, just to add an instant reflection, is add little white dots. So I'm putting it in my mouth, I don't care. So I got myself a point. And all we do is we start adding pupils or lights, the light on the eye. Now the key to adding lights to the eyes is to keep the points high. It's a reflection. So what we do is we just add two little dots onto our miniature, and that just gives us a reflection of light. And we do that with all the little eyeballs. With the little eyeballs we can just add one little dot because it's tiny. So just one little dot just on this black. We might have to go one bigger with the actual main eye. That's fine. But what we're trying to do is just add a tiny little white dot to each one of those eyes. So every single eye has a little dot at the top of the eye, and we have it on the actual black that we've added. And I'm going to go a little bit larger with the main eye. So what we'll do is a bit bigger with the blobber. There you go. That's the one. There we go. So we've got like a reflection now on each of the eye, and that's just the perfect little simple example of how to paint your little eyes on the beholder. Absolutely great. So what we'll do, we'll leave that dry, won't take long, and then I'll show you the final stage of how to paint the eyes on the beholder. Hello Renegade Shank. yeah, it's like, hello Renegade Shank, that must be, the show must be finished. Yes it is in a minute. Renegade Shank always pops on in the last 5 minutes. He's almost like an alarm clock to say, hey Mike, you got 5 minutes left. Right, okay, what we're doing for the last part of the miniature is I am looking for my gloss varnish. I got some gloss sealer. Perfect. This is gloss sealer from MSP Paints, and we just give that a little mix. What I'll do as well is, of course, when I finish and edit the videos, what I'll do is I'll complete the beholders, and on the YouTube video I'll show you a 360 of the actual finished miniature. But just to prove a point and to finish off the beholder's eyes and teeth, what we do is we just go over it with a gloss sealer. Now it will be a little bit misty to begin with, but what happens then is, like I showed you with the painting of the magical items earlier, everything will go clear. So when you apply your varnishes, do not fret if your miniature goes white. It's only while it's drying. Once it's all dried, it'll go crystal clear, so you don't have to worry about a thing. Okay, so for the last little bit for tonight, all we're going to do is, I want to use a different brush. I'll use my little manky brush here for adding this varnish. Just to finish off your eyes, just by using the gloss varnish, this will give a beautiful reflection as well. So we just go around the whole of the eye, and of course this will dry crystal clear, but will leave an absolutely beautiful finish to the eye. And of course it'll produce its own reflections, because gloss varnish of course will reflect all the light. So not only have we added a reflection by adding those white dots to the eye, by using the gloss varnish you get a natural reflection from the gloss varnish. And I like to add the gloss varnish to all my miniatures' eyes. It doesn't matter how big or small. Gloss varnish just works absolutely beautiful for your eyeballs. And of course, a little bit on the teeth there. Boom, boom, boom. Get the teeth all shiny and slimy. So there we are. That's a very simple and quick, easy paint for a beholder. That's about all we have time for tonight. I shall be finishing off the miniatures completely, and then I'll add them to the YouTube video. But like I say, you can add all these beautiful different magical effects. It's an absolutely beautiful miniature, and this will look fantastic in anybody's dungeon. So there we are, absolutely great. Of course I'm going to finish yours, Tal. Of course I am. I just run out of time, that's all. Okay, thank you every single one of you for popping on. It's always absolutely awesome to see all my goblins in chat. So have a fantastic weekend. I will be back on Monday with the Reaper miniatures. So I shall say goodnight to everybody, and love to each and every one of you. And until next time.